right, let's go. It's the DELO here. Welcome to On the DELO. This is my podcast, and I appreciate you all listening. This is episode 129. Please subscribe, 5-star, share with your friends. I'm doing another solo podcast here because we've got a busy summer, a lot of stuff going on. Do have some more guests coming and a lot of cool stuff down the pike. Got our Built Different Mastermind I've been doing with Jeremy Scott, which is going really well. I am releasing a new book called Reignite Your Spark. Just getting started. Excited about that. Along with that will be some coaching courses that's going to come with it that people can partake in. We're filming all that stuff now, so just a lot of stuff going on. But I love the podcasting. I love talking. I love, just being vulnerable and sharing a lot of the stuff that goes on in my life. And hopefully it gives you some value. And if it does, great. So this podcast is labeled 5 things that I've learned so far at the age of 50. So I turned 50 February 4th, and today is, we're broaching basically July 1st here. By the time this releases, be mid-July. So I'm already kind of getting there halfway through, 50, and I'm kind of learning some stuff. And again, 50 is just a number. I remember when I was younger and I looked at 50 and I was like, whoa, man, those people are old, right? Yeah. Well, I am one of those people now, and I'm grateful for it, because what alternatives do we have other than getting older? We go to Jesus, if we're good. So, right, Diddy?
Yes.
That's right. So, number one thing that I have learned so far at 50 is that I pee a lot. I mean, a lot, okay? I don't know what happened or when this happened, but old people, I get it now. Like, they got to pee a lot. And I get up, and I document this, right? I document in my journal every morning how many times I pee, because I want to kind of just keep track of what's going on with every aspect of my physicality as I, get older, and people can be like, dude, there might be something wrong there. But what I'm really learning is that older people, such as ourselves, we just pee a lot, and it's crazy. Like, I will be driving and literally will have to pull over before I completely just wet my pants. And a lot of times we'll be driving, up north, and it's only a couple hours. But man, when that triggers me, it's like I can't drink the big thing of water anymore and hold it and do all those things. So I'm just realizing as I get older, it's one of those things, you got to plan, all your stops and all your things. And it's like, I never thought I was going to be that guy planning my bathroom breaks and mapping out when, how, and what. And I mean, it's absolutely crazy. So also, if I'm going to fly and go anywhere for longer than, say, an hour, I got to make sure that I pee before I get on the plane, and I got to time it. And I don't know, does anybody else have this problem? I'm sure you do, and you may not want to admit to it. All right. So that's number 1. Number 2, I'm always sore. There's always something going on with this body. Now, I know those of you that know me, I know what you're thinking. It's like, dude, you work out so much. You absolutely, you crush, life by crushing your own physical body because you just do too much. And yes, you're right, I do. But at this time and age, I'm sore all the time. Right now, something's aching. I'm standing right now for this podcast because my upper back is just out of whack. And I probably did it out of whack by working out or doing something. So I always find myself, stretching and figuring things out and just trying to be at this point in the game, if I'm going to live to 80, 90, maybe 100, maybe 150, I don't know. But if I'm going to get into those upper years, now is the time to start training for that. Not then to start feeling like you are here. No, now, so that you can feel like this forever, because this is not getting any better. Maybe it can get better, but the stretching and all the mobility and a lot of the stuff that I do with my calisthenics coach, he's absolutely amazing. It's really helped, but man, it is a long game. I mean, I've been doing that with him for oh gosh, going on close to 2.5 years now. And I can just finally do like some rendition of an L sit or, some sort of, I can't do a handstand yet, but I'm working on pistol squats and just like all these things that are all body weight that you would look at somebody doing it saying, oh, I could probably do that. No, it's just a lot of, as he would say, power and grace. So everything is always sore. Aches are always going on, just part of it. We learn how to finagle and how to, let's just say, get massages and do the things that we need to do to, to make these things feel better. So that's number 2. Number 3, I go to bed at 8, okay? 8 p.m. And there's really no negotiating. Unless it's a Black Crowes concert, Van Halen concert, I think Aerosmith's coming up, Metallica I cheated for, Tool I cheated for. So again, few and far between. Look, I used to work in the music business and concerts were my life. I was probably going to 2-3 concerts a week, right? No, maybe 2 or 3 concerts a year. And that, that's a lot. So I just don't like to sacrifice my sleep. I just realized that sleep is king. Sleep is everything. Did you know that sleep is a $432 billion industry? Yeah. $432 billion industry. Sleep's just so important. It's how we rejuvenate. It's how we dream. It's how we travel. It's how we do a lot of these things that I think I know personally that my body just needs, and I love it. Like I will, so the routine is this. Kim and I will eat dinner around 4:15, call it blue hair supper. We eat dinner at home 95% of the time, unless we go to our friends at Chula, because they have some really fresh, good fish there. And we eat our dinner, and then I'll walk around the yard and I'll play in the yard. I'll look for like animals and stuff. Sometimes I find snakes, a lot of birds and lizards and stuff like that. So I love just kind of walking around our yard. Play with the dogs, that's about an hour. I'll do stuff with my hair because I'm always just trying to keep my hair going, and play a little guitar. Kim will take a bath. And then we have 1 hour, maybe an hour and a half of just trash TV, okay? It's nothing that we actually watch. It's other people's problems, and I'm sure it's all staged BS from Bravo or whatever network that we're watching. It's Discovery. That's what it is. And actually, that's how I travel, because a lot of these like couples, these 90-day fiance people, they go to Africa and they go to these other places, and that's how I learn about like where I don't want to live or travel to, because it just looks completely crazy. Diddy's dying right now. Diddy's going to Africa in a week. So I just like, we just like, and then I will lay down on the couch, and one of the dogs will come between my legs, the other one on top of my head, and I'll be either messing around on my phone, watching TV, or if I just straight out watch TV, I will literally fall asleep within 10 minutes of just like, and I'll probably, most times my wife laughs. She just sent me a meme today of like a cat staring at another cat, and it's like, this is my husband when he sits down on the couch 5 minutes after starting a movie, and it's the cat falling asleep, and then she's the other cat like staring at the cat falling asleep. It's actually really funny. I was dying because my wife knows me. She's just like, okay, well, are you going to stay up for this? I'm like, I don't know. I'm so unpredictable at this age, right? So I usually fall asleep 7:30, 7:45, and then I motivate over to the bed after letting the dogs out. And yeah, lights out, 8:30, pretty much. And I get the best sleep. But then it reverts back to peeing. Sometimes I'll pee once a night. Sometimes it's 3 times a night. I mean, it's just like, but I'm that type of person that can go straight right back to bed. So, yeah, welcome to just getting old. Welcome to 50. Holy goodness. And because we go to bed early, here's the thing. We prefer brunch, okay? So if you're going to invite us out, make sure it's within that window of from like 11 to 3. Because the morning time, I got to go do my workouts, and I got to do, any sort of yard work or, mental work or any of that sort of stuff. So I'm booked till 11. You can have me from 11 to 3. After 3, I'm done, right? But, we've had some dinners lately, which are obviously for special occasions. We don't mind going to those and doing that. We enjoy it still. We're not that much of a prude, but we really are systematically on that schedule of, I again, in bed at 8, I'm up at 4. Kim's up a little bit later, gets up a little bit later after I do. So that's number 3. Number 4 is I don't stress over things I cannot control. Again, what we feel is the end of the world today is not the end of the world, okay? I can't even tell you how many times I thought my whole world was coming down on me, and whether that was a business deal, whether that was a girlfriend, whether that was a family issue, whether that was something going on with my body, whatever it was, I can't even tell you right now. You see how crazy that is? I'm sure I could if I really digged into it and said, oh, I remember this time. But the fact of the matter is it doesn't matter. It's in the past. And nothing bad stayed with me for too long. And nothing bad was really happening to me then. But in the moment, it felt that it was like something bad. But in all reality, it was an opportunity to learn and to understand that this is not what I want in my life, and this is not a part of what I want to be associated with or who I am. So it takes those opportunities to understand the things that you do want to be a part of your life. Because if you don't have a yin or a yang or a black and a white or whatever, an opposite side of whatever it is, then how do you know? You just don't know, right? A good and evil, at the end of the day, at 50, when something, we'll just talk business, something in business goes awry. I didn't get that account. They moved that account over to another broker because they don't, think I did good enough work, right? Before, my ego, my pride, all this, I'm 30 years into this business. I'm the blah, right? I just don't care anymore. And it's not that I don't care. I don't care to have to prove myself and to have to stress over something that I know that I've already stressed about and I'm in a good place now. I just move on and I just go after whatever it is that's going to come, into my life in a very good and, let's just say, less stressful way. So I just don't stress over things that I cannot control anymore. And number 5, which is one of the most important things. And this is a really interesting perspective, especially being 50. Now, I've said this before and I'll say it again. My childhood, absolutely amazing. Nothing wrong with it. I had a great childhood. My parents got divorced, but, in reality, best thing to happen to me because that's where I'm at in life and that's what I believe. And through that, I ended up getting 3 dads. I got a couple moms, and they all have supported me through their own way, through their own existence and time in my life in the decades that they were either actively involved or passively involved, and still are. It all worked out. I had a lot more love than I think most people in the aspect of just more people. I'm not saying that I was loved any less than any of you. It's just a different thing that I acknowledge that you have a lot of people in your life that all have treated you well, and they're in that family, portion. I have not had a lot of tragedy in life, which, you can title tragedy however you want. You can, you have the belief that you go somewhere else and you find, your way and I'm very blessed. So at 50, the point being is that I've learned that I love spending time with my family and I understand that every moment at this point in my life is very precious because I'm not young and I'm not old. I'm right in the middle. I'm right here. And to still have my parents is a blessing, understanding that that's not going to be, eventuality forever. I mean, yes, it will be forever in my heart in the context of spirit and all those things that I believe in. And that's a lot of the work that I work on now is trying to understand through, faith and spirituality and all that sort of stuff, like how great life is no matter what season that you're in and how to be able to handle those different seasons. And as we get older, I'm going through the aspects and the understanding of the things that my parents have already gone through. So my grandparents are not here anymore. I watch my parents now go into the phase of what my grandparents were, and I'm going into the phase of what my parents were. And so it's very... I think a lot of times we just float through life and we realize, oh shit, my parents are older and now they're, not walking, not doing this and that. And I'm very blessed in the sense that all my parents really take care of themselves. They do the best that they can. They're active. They're, that's not the case with everybody. I understand that. So for me, again, the top, of the 5 things that I've learned is that, whether it be with my kids who are growing older and they're trying to establish their way in this world as young men and really finding themselves in a very confusing time, and a time that, somebody 21 years old is not buying a house, with what's going on in the market. They just don't have the money. They haven't had the experience. So being blessed enough to be able to help them, both not just financially, if that's the case, but mentally and through, other aspects of life that, is beneficial to them, I call it coaching, I guess. But also understanding that my parents are in a good position where they're okay. They're okay to relax. They're okay to live their life. They're okay to hang out, with us and still be, cognitively there and physically there. And it's really an amazing thing. So it's very important for me right now to just understand that this moment in time I'll never get back. It'll never, and I don't know how long this moment in time lasts. Is it another 10 years, 20 years? I don't know. It doesn't matter. All I know is right here, right now is the present moment of what is great and what is beautiful in the realm of having family and understanding and respecting and being patient, because I am not the most patient person in the world. And so understanding patience, especially with older people that have some, delays in the ways we don't see them the same way as when we were kids and they were, quote unquote, strong and virile. They're older now. And I take recognition of that even in myself, like in how my kids see me. And I'm like, oh, I'm still a young stud. And now I get it. I just, a lot of things start to click and you start to really get it. And you start to have a respect and appreciation for all of that in life. So those are my top 5 things I've learned at 50 so far. What a blessing to just be here and be able to share that and to cognitively journal about all this and put it out there. And it's just me being vulnerable, and it's just a lot of fun. So I hope you got something, fun out of this podcast. Hope it resonated. Again, please subscribe, 5-star. Check out our Built Different Mastermind. Again, I have show links, all below of all the different stuff that I'm doing, partaking in. And please comment on the video of anything that resonated with you. I'd really appreciate it. So until then, I hope you have a great day, and peace out.